Hi, this is Devi. So today we have something really interesting. A few years ago, when I was running packages, I had this interview process where engineer will come and I will give them a set of functions, no frameworks or anything like that, and we will go ahead and implement that. Here, since we're talking about functional programming concept, I would like to walk you through one of the challenge I used to give to a candidate, and one of the way of thinking that I've been using in my programming career, which is you have a stream of data, and instead of mutating that data, you basically just apply operation on that data, and each time each operation will return you a new set, which means non-mutable, right? Something that has not been mutated, and then at the end of the pipe, you get a new set of data that has been transformed, right? But candidate usually brought a different approach to it. So I'm going to show you two of them, and then I'll show you the functional approach here. So the first part is basically what we want to get is somewhere where when you write reverse this way and you get something in reverse Sega for packages and something like that. I can't even pronounce this part. So how would you do this? So the first thing we're going to do is a string is an array-like. You can loop through it. You can access each of the elements by their position in the array, right? So the easy part is just to loop through it in reverse and then store each of the element in a new array, right? So we're just gonna have a result here, which is, let's say, an array, and then return that result. Now we see that it's just an empty array right now. So the way we will do that, just go with the for loop, and then the for loop, I'm gonna go the index here, and then we have the value, right? So value.len, because once again, an array is a string is an array-like, okay? So now, once I have that element over there, what I want to do is just to push that element, to push it into the result, right? Right. So once we have that, we see right below that that string that we had at the beginning now turn into an array right there, okay? So but that is not really what we want to do. We want to reverse it, and the way you reverse that, you just go here and then say, hey, I'm going to go from the value length -1. So you go from the end of the array, the string, to the moment the array is actually the length is still positive, and then you want to basically go in reverse, right? Instead of incrementing, you decrement from there. Now you see below, we have already something that looks pretty good, right? If I just write a result here, you see indeed that we have something that looks pretty okay already. So what we just need to do here is to say, from that result, what I want to do is to join. And then when I join, you see below the result shows me something with commas, and I just have to remove the comma this way, right? So we get our result. That implementation here, to be honest, here it is okay, right? It shows a lot of things about you as a developer, but then you can take it on another level, right? The first part here is we declaring a constant and so on and so forth. We could actually use a string instead of an array here, right? So first thing with a string, what you will just do is, well, remove all of that because this is array-like. And instead of pushing, what you do is basically append them by saying you just add the element to it right there. So let's see what we're having as an issue here. The only issue we have here is the fact that we're using a const instead of a let. So when I do this, you see that I changed some minimal code, but then I get the result, the same exact result. To me, these two approaches are kind of alike, okay? So I'm gonna take that onto the level where it's really functional programming, close to what a functional programmer will do, right? So let's comment out this part for now, and we're just going to use this one and comment that right here. Let me do that. Okay, so something is okay, fantastic. Now how are we going to do that? We're going to start from the value. So let me just use a variable for now. I'm not gonna use it till at the end. I just want to make sure that we monitor what is happening with that variable. So the array here, this value is a string, and you take a string and you can elevate that into an array. The way you do that, you just split it, but you don't provide it anything really. So if you check what is inside result, if you check what is inside result, you see that you just put the array in there, right? So the way you can actually make it work in a different way, you just put a quote right there, right? As you see, we now have every single of the array that has been spread or in there. And now what we would like to do is to say, once we have that, we elevate that into an array. Now we can reverse it, because the array has a reverse method in there, okay? But see, we're not done here, right? We still don't have the final thing. What we just need to do here is to join it and then close it this way. As you see, in that one line, we were able to close the loop, and I can just return that and remove this, right? And we see right below that right here that we get something that is basically working really well, right? So that's basically the implementation that, for me, it leverage functional programming concept. Once again, you get a value, you kind of box it, meaning bring it onto a different type, which is an array, and then knowing that that array has a reverse method, then you apply whatever it is there, and then you unbox it by calling a join on it. Okay, so that's, I will stop right here. However, some people told me that, hey, because you don't do any logic in there, yeah, I could basically get rid of some unnecessary code. So let me do this. I'm just gonna copy this and then yank it over here again. So I keep the previous version for the people to see, and now I'm just gonna make it this way, and that's another way you can write that. I have to be honest, I prefer the one below here. It's a little bit verbose for some people, but it shows pretty well what it does, right? That's it. Yeah, if you want to do more exercises like that on the Hackages learning platform, you can basically go on app.hackages.io and you're gonna find a few like that where you can grow your skills. That's it for now. Cheers, people.